Good afternoon. I'm Liz Staubach, Chair of the City of Albany IDA, and I call the Thursday, February 20th meeting to order. Note that we do have a quorum with Darius Shanbar and Christopher Betts not in attendance. First item on the agenda is I'd ask for a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and accept as presented.
So moved.
May I get a second?
Second.
Any comments, questions, edits, concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The report of the Chief Financial Officer.
Yeah, within your package, is the January monthly unrestricted cash position, showing the results for the month of January with projected revenue going out in July for your review and questions and answers.
Thanks, Tom. Are there any questions for Tom? Okay, thank you. Moving on. No unfinished business, no new business, but we do have an agency update. I
think we're gonna go
Olivia.
compliance first.
Oh, okay.
So
Mixing it up.
real quick, this is the first time that this body is looking at our annual compliance reporting for reporting year 2024. And Olivia has been working judiciously to get us where we're at today, and with nothing further from me, I'm gonna turn the floor over to Olivia.
Thank you. So, we do have a large compliance update for you today, as Andy said. Before we jump into the specifics, I will note we still have a few outstanding board compliance forms. If that's you, I will talk to you after the meeting. I won't tell you about on live stream. But I
Not
do
this
have-
week.
Not this week.
Next
Next
time to
time,
happen.
that might happen. I do have some printed out forms, so I can distribute those, and I'll also send out an email reminder as well. So as Andy said, staff has been working with our project applicants on the 2024 annual employment verification and compliance reporting. I am happy to say we're about 99% of the way there. So we're very close. We do have lines of communication with those few remaining projects. And we're expecting final submissions soon. So we'll start with the straight leases. Just for a quick overview, in 2024, we had 66 straight lease projects. 65 of those have reported at least a draft version to us. And I am expecting again that final one very soon. 15 projects were under construction in 2024. And that leaves 51 completed projects. 39 of those are reporting at or above that 80% employment threshold, and 11 are reporting below. Of those 11, 8 have a recapture clause. I will point those out as we move through our sheet and note that for you. And we have received 13 of 15 ST340s. So we do have this long vertical sheet that shows the straight lease line by line. Just for some jobs overview, there was 1,307 jobs reported in 2024. 486 of those were retained and 821 were created. And we got 1,434 construction jobs. So we'll orient ourselves by the row numbers on the left, and we'll go line by line. I'll point out anything that's notable or significant. If I miss anything, or if there's anything that you want to go over in more detail, just stop me and let me know. Those projects that are under reporting are indicated with that peach highlight color on the right-hand side. So starting with row 1, which is 1385 Washington Avenue Associates. This project is reporting at full employment levels, which is great. I did want to note for the board that they submitted an Excel tax summary in lieu of a New York State 45. In past years, the board has accepted that. I did just want to bring that to your attention. We'll then move to row 9, which is 144 State Street. I have that grayed out because it's a little different. 144 State Street LLC came before the board in 2023 and received approvals for additional abatements, including a new pilot. So that project did close this year. As of right now, we still have both of them on here because we're technically still reporting both. We'll expect that to fall off, but the updated project is at line 65. And although for this original project, they'd be slightly underreporting, they are on track, even over-reporting for their updated project with, I believe, 95 jobs. Moving on to row 11, 40 Steuben LLC. This project is reporting 0 out of 3 committed jobs. It does not have a recapture clause in place. The project applicants reported that the storefront was vacant upon purchase, and they're continuing to explore retail and commercial opportunities, looking to fill that space, hopefully soon. We have line 14, which is 4-6 Sheridan LLC. This building contains Amacosina. It did reopen following the pandemic in 2023, which is awesome. They're still underreporting at 15 out of 25 expected jobs. We kind of expect that it'll stay around there just based on the needs of the restaurant, but they are back in business, which is great. And that project does not have a recapture clause. I will note also row 16, which is 391 Myrtle Ave Medical Office Building. This project is reporting 335 jobs out of an estimated 20. So over-reporting by quite a bit, which is awesome. They saw a significant increase from last year to this year as well, as 2 new practices have moved into that building, which is really awesome. The very next row, row 17, which is Aon Nexus Corporation. They are also over-reporting 29 jobs out of a committed 12. They reported that their current workload requires a elevated number of FTEs, so we expect it'll probably stay around there. And row 20, FC 178 WAE LLC is also over-reporting 63 jobs out of an estimated 44. Albany Internal Medicine, which is located at that property, has increased the number of physicians in their practice, so they have also increased support staff and nursing as well. Row 25, which is Sheridan Hall Enterprises, is underreporting at 9 out of 16 jobs. This project does not have a recapture provision in place. They have reported that Habitat for Humanity has reduced their staff according to their needs, and their other commercial space is vacant as of May 2023. They are hoping for new tenants in 2025. I will quickly note row 29, which is 363 Ontario Street. That is reporting right on track. They have been unable to receive a New York State 45 for one of their commercial tenants. The same situation happened last year. We do have a letter from the project applicant explaining the situation, but I will note that for the board.
And sorry to interrupt, for all these where we don't have an NYS 45 for whatever reason, we do keep a record of our communications and our attempts to obtain that NYS 45. So we have that in case we are questioned on it by the OSC or ATO.
Moving on to row 32, which is Harmony Mills South LLC. They are reporting 18 jobs versus a committed 5. This is due to the fact that I don't believe they included their commercial spaces in their original estimate. So we'll probably see consistent over-reporting. And I believe there's another commercial tenant set to move in early this year as well. Row 34, Laughlin Dawn, is also over-reporting. They've added some staff to their maintenance and leasing team to meet their current needs. I will also note that they've submitted a payroll report in lieu of a New York State 45 as well. And row 36 is 76 North Pearl LLC, also over-reporting 31 jobs out of an estimated 13 jobs. Their commercial tenants have maintained strong workforces. We expect that will stay the same. So that's awesome. Row 38 is 16 Sheridan Ave. This is reporting 2 jobs out of an estimated 12. The commercial tenant, The Yard, is mostly operated by the owner. So not as many FTEs as expected. I will note there is a recapture provision. However, this is the final reporting year for that project. And moving on to row 40, which is the Swinburne building. They're reporting about 50%, 2 out of an estimated 4 jobs. They've reported that this current staffing level reflects their needs of the leasing office. This has stayed consistent over the last few years, as you can see. The very next row, row 41, is over-reporting with 116 jobs. Their tenants, which are Equinox and Whitney Young, have maintained strong levels of employment over the last few years. And row 42, which is the Rep LLC, they are underreporting at 15 jobs out of 31. The pandemic changed some of their plans. There was plans for a full-service cafe, which did not come to fruition following the pandemic. In addition to that, their costume scenery shop was spun off into a separate organization. So there are 5 additional FTEs that are not included in that count. So it looks a little lower. The next row, which is 39 Columbia Street Association, are over-reporting at 160 jobs versus an estimated 51.5. Their tenants Belvedere and Castle Island have maintained strong workforces. And we expect that we'll see that in future years as well. The very next row again, 45 Columbia Street Association, which is the parking garage. They're reporting 0 out of 1 jobs. That garage is automated, so they don't have a current need for any employees at this time. And row 46, which is 413 North Pearl. They're reporting 0 out of 2 jobs. They do have a commercial tenant, which is Noteworthy Resources. It's a youth skate park. That organization is all volunteer, which is why they don't have any FTEs to report. And that project does have a recapture provision in place. I will note row 48, 1211 Western Ave. We do have an update following this compliance update on that. I will note that they are in compliance with their annual reporting with us. Row 50 is 745 Broadway, Albany LLC. They're reporting at full staffing levels. That project did come online this year, which is great. I will note that they have submitted a payroll report in lieu of a New York State 45. Moving on to row 54, which is 66 State Street Partners. They are reporting 0 out of 1 jobs. The commercial space in that building is vacant. They are working on soliciting a tenant and have found it challenging. That project does have a recapture provision in place. Row 56 is 21 Erie Associates LLC. They're reporting 16 jobs out of an estimated 49. They have a brewery that was expected to move in sooner. It's taken a little bit longer than expected. They're hoping to have them move in 2025. They also reported that their tenant Huck Finn has lost some FTEs due to high labor costs and sluggish sales. And that project does have a recapture provision in place. And then the last project I'll point out is row 59, which is Indispad Flair LLC. They are reporting 0 out of 35 jobs. They do have a recapture provision. They have reported to us that FYE, the entity that was set to take full control of the space, their plans for it didn't actualize and the lease has since terminated. So they are actively looking for a tenant and we'll hopefully see one in there soon. So that is a quick overview of the straight lease projects. I will note this is draft. Responses are still coming in and we'll keep making updates to this as well over time. So things might change from this month to next month. If there are no questions, we can move on to the bonds.
I will just bottom line this by saying, obviously, overwhelmingly, this is positive reporting because people are either meeting their goals or exceeding their goals, with the exception of the projects that Olivia has highlighted here. So mostly good news.
We will have a draft copy of the annual report, which is actually the kind of the Paris printout of what we will submit at the end of March. So we'll have that as part of our review of the audit committee on Wednesday, March 12th, I believe. So stay tuned there.
Thank you. So the next sheet you should have,
One question on, any of the projects where they're trying to fill a space or, lease was terminated, vacancies. Are there any consistencies with the challenges that they're facing? I realize they're all different spots, but is there any consistencies that you're hearing from those applicants that maybe this board could address, or just random?
I think there is that it definitely skews towards some downtown properties that have had some challenges filling the spaces. It seems, I haven't gotten a ton of specifics, so I don't know if I've seen a common thread other than that, those downtown spaces. The warehouse space, that lease did just recently terminate. So we're hopeful that they will have someone in very soon.
Okay.
So yeah, that terminated at the very end of last year. But I would say the most consistent thread I would see is those downtown commercial spaces, retail. Seems like there's some difficulties filling those.
Industrial is a strong market, so that one should be pretty easily filled.
That's kind of what I was thinking through the warehouse will get.
Yeah. There are no further questions. I will move on to our bonds.
Well, the bonds are in the, are they in the next meeting? This is
Uh,
the meeting?
That page that you're looking at right there.
We still have some legacy.
Oh, I,
Yes,
all right.
so some IDA
Okay,
bonds.
gotcha.
Sorry about
Okay.
that. So all of our IDA bonds have reported to us, which is great. Just for some quick overview, they have reported 980 total jobs in 2024. 601 of those were retained and 379 created. I will just note two of these for you. One is Renaissance Court. They are underreporting with 6 out of 9 estimated jobs. They do contract out some of their services, maintenance and similar services, which is why that is slightly lower. That has remained consistent. And South Mall Towers, which is at the very bottom, they are underreporting with 8 out of 12 estimated jobs. This is due to some of their staff need part-time schedules, so it tips the balances a little bit on the number of FTEs. If there are no questions on that, that will bring my IDA compliance to an end.
Any questions for Olivia? Just thank you very much. I know how hard it is to track down people, so.
Yeah, and I would like to point out too, I've done this for a number of years and it is a tremendous amount of administrative work. Especially to get all this data in the condition that it's in February is no small task. So as I've quickly watched Olivia work me out of a job, I would like to. Because it is a lot of work. So well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Post meeting, can we just drill down on South Mall Towers a little bit on the FTEs? I'm just curious about the 14 part-time and how they only equal out to 8 at the end of the day. Okay.
Agency update.
So I can start, as far as agency update, staff attended and some of the board members attended, New York State, EDC's conference last week. We heard that they had record attendance with more than 400 attendees at the Albany Capitol Center. So good news for economic development and good news for downtown Albany and the Capitol Center. And we attended a number of interesting panels and keynote speakers.
All right, the second and last agency update is the 1211 Western Avenue project. You may have seen media coverage of some of the continuing difficulties they've had on site. We did reach out, excuse me, to get the monthly updates restarted, which had paused for a couple months. So that's what Olivia is passing out now. We are monitoring this project and we are working in conjunction with Corp Counsel and the city's codes office as well to stay in the loop. We can say that it does not appear any work has been done since we were last physically on site in late fall.
Is there any action that we need to do?
No, I would note that the project applicant did come in the fall, just as a recap, to request an extension of their completion date. In addition to an extension of their sales tax exemption certificate.
Which never went to anywhere because they never followed through.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we did condition the approval of said request upon the sidewalk and road being repaired, which did occur within the time frame we had requested. However, as council has noted, they did not close on the extension. So currently no sales tax exemption exists.
Continue to monitor and get updates.
Correct.
We learn more. Okay, any questions for Andy on that one?
So it says, so nothing has been done other than the site work since last fall, other than clearing the sidewalk?
Correct.
So I'm confused because they, in a letter, they say here in the third paragraph, construction was temporarily paused during the holiday season, but we implemented safety measures. See, so are they saying, are they attempting to say that they were actually doing work, or are they just saying it's paused indefinitely? Because I think that's kind of concerning to me if they haven't done anything.
My understanding as of about last week was that their building permit either had expired or was about to expire. I'd have to confirm that 100% with the city department, but so unless they've re-upped that, since that last conversation, right now, they need new permits.
Okay.
And that's a great question, Joe, and again, from what staff saw when they're at the site and continues to see traversing past the site, it does not appear as any work, especially any significant work, has taken place in months. If you'd like, we can reach out to them and try to get in there again and verify that and report back.
I think we should at this point, but I also think we gotta see where the permit is, because if the permit's lapsed, I understand that they can't go back on site and do any work, but.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was about to, and one of the contractors had asked for their permit, but the city was gonna align sort of the contractor permit with the overall building, permit approval. Any other topics under agency updates?
Okay, may I get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.